Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you can see me well. So today I would like to read you something from Esther, from the Old Testament, the book of Esther, and the chapter 6. Esther reveals Haman's plot. It's all about a king chooses a different woman for himself, and this in the case is Esther, and the people plotting against her and her Jewish community to kill all of them. And the king has no clue, and she wants a favor from him. So she's fasting 3 days and 3 nights because Mordecai is telling her to do it. It's a guy in the book, and then after she's fasting, she's going up to the king and asks for the favor, but she has a lot to lose, because if the king can get mad and like kill her and her people, or the other choice is that he's gonna listen to her favor. So let me read it to you and then tell you what God is showing me to do, and maybe you as well. While they were yet talking with him, the king's eunuchs arrived and hurried to bring Haman to the feast that Esther had prepared. So Esther is the woman. So the king and Haman went in to feast with Queen Esther. And on the second day, as they were drinking wine after the feast, the king again said to Esther, "What is your wish, Queen Esther? It shall be granted you. And what is your request? Even to the half of my kingdom it shall be fulfilled." Then Queen Esther answered, "If I have found favor in your sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be granted me for my wish, and my people for my request. For we have been sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated. If we had been sold merely as slaves, men and women, I would have been silent, for affliction is not to be compared with the loss to the king." Then King Ahasuerus said to Queen Esther, "Who is he, and where is he who has dared to do this?" And Esther said, "A foe and enemy, this wicked Haman." Then Haman was terrified before the king and the queen. And the king arose in his wrath from the wine drinking and went into the place garden, but Haman stayed to beg for his life from Queen Esther, for he saw that harm was determined against him by the king. And the king returned from the palace garden to the place where they were drinking wine, as Haman was filling on the couch where Esther was. And the king said, "Will he even assault the queen, my present, in my own house?" As the word left the mouth of the king, they covered Haman's face. Then Harbona, one of the eunuchs in attendance on the king, said, "Moreover, the gallows that Haman has prepared for Mordecai, whose word saved the king, is standing at Haman's house, 50 cubits high." And the king said, "Hang him on that." So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then the wrath of the king abated. So what I learned, for now I have Corona, I'm at home, and God speaks to me when he reminds me what to read in the Bible. And then once I read it, I know exactly what he wants from me. So for a long time, God has kept showing me Esther. And Esther is a woman. She wants a favor from the king. And for me, the king represents Jesus or God. And like Esther wants something from the king, a favor, she's fasting 3 days and 3 nights to get from the king what she wants. The same we're supposed to do as Christians when we want something from God. We want to be healed, we want blessings, but we are not worrying so much about fasting and praying. We just pray once and then we think God's gonna answer us, and this is most often not the case. God wants us to be more persistent and more like the widow that is always knocking in the New Testament at Jesus' door or at God's door, like because she won a favor, so she's keep knocking and knocking and asking until God's gonna grant her the wish. So it's the same with Old Testament, where you see, I don't remember who it was. It was in David. Was it David? David, I'm not sure, but there's a book in the Old Testament, and there's a guy, and he's a prophet, is in the lion's den. I think it's David, I'm not sure, and he's always asking. He's praying a few times a day, the whole time, he's praying the same thing over and over again. He's fasting and praying and worshiping God, and then finally God's telling him to. He sends an angel and tells him, okay, the angel is telling him, I took 21 days to answer, to come back and answer you the prayer, because it took so long, because I had so many enemies to go against, because they were standing, king of Persia and king of this was standing between you and God, and I had to fight, the king. I think it was the angel Gabriel, something like this. I don't know which book it was. Anyways, you can find it all over the Old Testament, that people actually praying and fasting when they want something really badly. And especially I realize when I'm sick and I'm on the floor and I'm like praying and crying on the floor and asking God to heal me, I feel things are happening. I do not understand what is happening, but I know for a lot of things we need to fast and pray. And I know it's hard to not to eat 3 days in a row and not to drink 3 days in a row, but when you're sick already and you don't have a big hunger, then it's easier for you. You can pray to God to help you to fast and pray for a few days straight. Fasting can mean be without TV, like do not do anything what gives you pleasure for 3 days, for example. Don't eat your favorite foods, just eat like a simple food, or just eat breakfast, just eat the dinner. For example, before you go to sleep, like pray or like read the Bible, and then keep asking the same thing over and over again. Sometimes you need to be persistent. I'm always saying this, but this is not easy even for me. I'm trying my best to do it, but I can feel that God is like, keep pushing me into this direction to keep asking for the same thing and again, and be thankful and trusting that He will answer it, even if it's not my timing, but it's gonna be His timing. One day He's gonna do it. One day I'm very hopeful, the other day I'm very like discouraged. I think everybody is like this. I hope I'm not the only one. It's easier to say do it than do it yourself, believe it or not, even as a Christian. And I do trust God that He will give me the things at the right timing. Sometimes the enemy is standing in my way. Sometimes God is allowing the enemy to attack us because to show us that we are nothing without Him and we cannot do it. Like no medication, nothing can help us. Just God can help us to get out of wherever we are right now. And I'm always asking the same thing. I'm always praying for an own apartment. I'm always praying for getting favor in God's, on my behalf from God. And I'm just waiting. I'm just trying to be patient. I'm trying to fast and pray like Esther did. I mean, you should too, if you can go with fasting for 3 days and 3 nights and eat the basics or don't eat at all. That is great. And then you can ask as many things as possible and keep asking the same thing until God is going to answer you. I think that's what God wanted me to share with you guys today. I hope this channel will grow, you guys. I really would love to speak more about God to people. I got something from Derek Prince Ministries. Woo! And it says this. I'm gonna read it to you. That's what God gave him as a promise. And Derek Prince, he was a minister or pastor, a teacher from God's teacher, and God chose him to teach people about the gospel and about Bible. And he said one day to him, "It shall be like a little stream. The little stream shall become a river. The river shall become a great river. The great river shall become a sea. The sea shall become a mighty ocean, and it shall be through thee." That's what God told the pastor. He died, and believe it or not, his teachings like getting more and more famous. The longer he's dead, the more he's becoming famous, his teachings, and he's teaching a lot of truth, you guys, and he's delivering people and everything. And that's what I want to reach one day. I want that God use me mighty, even if I think it's a small thing that I do for God. I want that God uses this little YouTube channel and keeps opening up Christians' eyes to the true, and not just Christians, but maybe people that don't believe. I hope so. I hope this channel will grow. I can bless you. I can be blessing to you, and maybe you can be a blessing to me as well. And pray for me, and I hope this is gonna be a ministry one day, and I can pray for people and tell them how to live righteously, and that God can speak through me to you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Love you guys. Thank you for your prayers. I feel a lot much better. Once I was on the floor crying and because I had so much pain because of Corona and because of my back pain. I kept being reminded in my head about the woman that got healed after 12 years bleeding from God by just touching him in faith. And when this came to my mind, I started to ask Jesus to heal me, to touch me, like the woman did. And once I said that, like a burping came out of me. I don't know how to tell you, but I feel like I got a little bit deliverance. And I feel when you really shut off everything around you and focus on God, and you're going really on your face before him on the floor, and you keep asking him, and you're like desperate, and then God will listen to you, and Holy Spirit will remind you of certain things from the Bible to apply in your life. But you have to listen to this voice, and you have to really apply it. Don't be shy, because then is the time for you to get healed. So I feel so much better, you guys, now. I hope this Corona time is gonna be over soon for me, because I hate to be alone home. But I'm sure God is doing this by purpose, for us to be by ourselves, to seek him in our darkest moments. Thanks so much, guys. Love you. Please share and comment. Thanks.